Good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis, and welcome to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today, Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. We have via the phone with us today Miss Eartha Carey, and we will be speaking about the better opportunity fairs that are coming up. And Ms. Carey is going to give us some details about the event, some background information, and what is the purpose of the event, the intended impact, and the importance that is. Good morning, Ms. Carey, and thank you so much for joining me on the program for today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me this morning.
Awesome. So let's get right into our discussion for today. And I want to look at getting a background in terms of what the Better Opportunity Fairs are all about. So tell us in a nutshell what the Better Opportunity Fairs are all about.
Okay, so the idea behind the Better Opportunity Fairs is to address some of the root causes of crime and violence on the Federation. And we would have received this information during our outreach from last year, September, up until today. We would have had several stakeholder consultations, community engagement, one-on-one sessions with persons in the community. And out of that, we decided to look at the areas that we can address immediately and anything that can contribute to getting rid of any charges. Mm-hmm. So with the Better Opportunity Fairs, it's a part of a government-led initiative, and it's aimed at tackling crime and violence, and we're doing this through a public health lens. And what we are doing, we're equipping community members, particularly youth and the vulnerable populations, with access to essential services, educational resources, employment opportunities, and life-changing programs. So that's what that really is about.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And I absolutely love this. Can you tell me who are the main partners or sponsors or organizations that are involved in this initiative?
Sure. As we speak, we did send out our invitations to various stakeholders, and some of the stakeholders who will be participating, we have Aspire. We reached out to the Department of Creative Economy. We have the private sector, Creative Designs by AJ. We also have Lucid SKN. Now, Lucid SKN would address the areas where they're looking for assistance with academics. And I think this is a retired teacher, and she is providing academic services such as helping students with their homework. Then we have Inland Revenue Department. We reached out to Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Employment and Labor, Social Development and Gender Affairs. Mm-hmm. And of course, we have the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force coming on board. They're going to be represented by the National Intervention Team. And this is a team that assists. They have many programs that caters to the youth in the community, so they'll be coming on board. We have the St. Kitts and Nevis National Council on Drug Abuse Prevention Secretariat, St. Kitts and Nevis Social Security Board. We have Turnaround Agenda, that's coming from the church aspect of it.
Yes.
We have University of the West Indies Open Campus. And another lady reached out to us yesterday, which is quite great because she's willing to offer her service by helping youth who want to learn to use their hands when it comes to hand jewelry making. Mm-hmm. She's open to doing sessions with any youth, any upcoming entrepreneurs. So that is the goal behind the Better Opportunity Fairs, which is to collaborate, build partnerships and relationships with members in the communities. We want to let persons know that we're not just walking through, we're not just asking questions. We want you to know that we're actually providing anything that can benefit what you are saying. So you cry and you listen. We provide resources to can immediately, and then we look at long-term programs that will be able to assist in the process. Mm-hmm. Because the goal is to get crime down, where we can manage it and keep it down. So that is the goal.
And this is indeed fantastic news, because you're seeing where we are engaging with the public and private sector and members of the community with one goal, and that is to tackle crime and violence. But can you tell me where and when the fairs will be held? And as we're talking about better opportunity, what types of opportunities can people expect to find from their participation in these fairs?
Well, the plan is to not just have persons attend. We want to make a partnership. Again, we want to build relationships. So it's about connecting persons to the relevant resources that would help them, not just short term, but also long term. From coming from the Citizen Security Secretariat, also, we want to ensure that these relationships are kept. So one of the things that we also be doing is follow up to ensure that persons are in alignment, and if there's any change that can be made, we can know how to make these changes. Because we believe we shouldn't just put out information. It's just like, you're applying for a job. Now, it's a process to get the job. You go through the application process, you go through the background check, and stuff like that. Now, once you get the job, there should be a follow-up. Is it working for you? Stuff like that, to get persons in places where they can benefit from whatever resources that we are putting out. So what to expect and how to connect them is that we are going to be doing follow-up. If there's nothing there at the time that they're looking for, we don't just let you walk away. We take your information, we try and assist by looking for resources, we reach back out to you and say, hey, we came upon this, would this be of help to you? That's the road that we're trying to lead.
And the when and the where, in terms of where the event is going to be held?
I didn't hear that question, sorry.
Sorry, and the when and the where, in terms of where the fairs are going to be held, or the first?
The fairs are going to, yes. So it's going to be broken down in divisions, and we're keeping in alignment with the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, where we have the 3 divisions, A, B, and C. C is over in Nevis. B is will be broken down in 2 because we have the East and West, and we have A, which is Bastia area. So the first one kicks off for Division A, which will be in the Bastia area. It will be on Central Street. That's in between Flow and National Bank, between there. That kicks off from 1 to 6 p.m. Then the 2 fairs for Division B would be on the 21st of June. Those will be on a Saturday because we're going over into the countryside. We're trying to capture everyone, so we're going to bring them out on a Saturday. This will start from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Awesome.
And yes, and then Nevis, the same thing, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Carey. For those of you who are just tuning in, you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM, and I have a guest via the telephone, Ms. Eartha Carey, the coordinator of the Citizen Security Secretariat. And we are speaking about an initiative that they have recently launched called Better Opportunity Fair, or Better Opportunities Fair. Ms. Carey, I want to get down into the target audience, and is it just for youth, or is it open to everyone? How does that work?
It's open to everyone. No one get left behind.
And let's say, I want to attend the fair. Is there anything that I have to bring with me, or is there anything that the organizers are expecting from a participant?
I will say show up. I always tell, when I talk, I always tell the students, show up like you already have the job. So just show up, be open-minded and ready to serve, ready to take on what you're looking for. So we have the Ministry of Employment that would be there. So if you're coming to look for work, I would assume you can, you come and you present yourself. They would also give you whatever information. Just come ready to be open-minded.
And just a few more questions for you as it relates to, community engagement and national development. How do you think this fear is going to impact the community, not just the youth, but the community across the board?
Well, for us, it's about growth and it's about development. So I think once we are putting out the resources by looking at how we can address some of the root causes, right? Because for us, we have more than one top issue, but the top three that spoke to us is family issues, job opportunities, and peer pressure.
Okay.
So how can we find anything that can address these is through programs. For example, we have the National Counseling area. Believe it or not, during some of the engagement, some of the teams, they spoke out and they spoke about some of the issues that they are facing in their families. And I can remember that two of them, they mentioned that they would like to see their parents go to family counseling because they think it will help them, right? So if we get these persons on board, that's an impact for us because then that means they're open to new things. They're open to learning. They're open to broadening the horizon. When it comes to job creation, we have employers on board. We have the Ministry of Labor and Employment on board. They are there to let you know what resources they have when it comes to the employment area. Peer pressure. Now, peer pressure is there. We call it bullying, we call it whatever we like, but it's there. Once we get mentors, and there are mentors out there that are looking to serve, right, there will be some sort of impact because, again, it's all about alignment and placing resources to areas that need the resources. So I will say that would be some of the impact that's expected once we keep with the consistency and once we believe the objective, which is eradicating all these issues that are contributing to the rise of crime and violence.
Ms. Carey, what would you say to someone who's unsure whether this fear is for them?
What would I say? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, what would you say to someone who is unsure whether this fear is for them?
It's all about influence. So if they're unsure, of course, because again, we have persons who would probably not show up because they may have someone that they believe in, which is a friend, is not going to show up. So my approach will be, what are your plans? If you're looking for a career, what are your plans? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And they may not know what it is. So the plan is to have a conversation. You meet them where they are and you bring them where you think they can be. And once they get there, we continue working with them. So we just tell them, if you're unsure, it's okay. You never know. Show up. It might just be that better opportunity that you are looking for. It might be that one opportunity that is going to take you from one step to another step. A lot of it is about persons also being in comfort zones. So we as positive influences leaders, we just have to find anything, any mechanism, any approach that can influence the minds that are unsure. It's all about the approach and the information that you give to them, the way in which you speak to them. I don't believe in, for the first time, in speaking to someone to convince them to do something is to go to them above. I think you should listen, meet them where they are, and then you take it from there to get them to rise.
Any final message for the public as we get ready for the Better Opportunity Fair?
Yes, just show up. I'm ready to show out. We have resources that's going to be available. And if there is none at the time, still speak to one of our representatives and we'll take your information and we'll ensure that you get connected to where you should be.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Carey. For those of you who have just tuned in, you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. And I had a guest via the telephone this morning, Ms. Eartha Carey, the coordinator of the Citizen Security Secretariat, speaking about the better opportunities, better opportunity fairs that are coming up. And this is a fantastic initiative from that secretariat. And the goal is to tackle the issue of crime and violence, engaging with the private and public sector, engaging with the community, old and young people alike, to hear their ideas and initiatives and all of that. Ms. Carey, thank you so much for joining me on the program for today, and best wishes.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Awesome. We take this break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay with us.
Okay. Foodies are hungry, and they're looking for you. Get your restaurant or food spot on the hottest shows, The Morning Show and The Edge, at the perfect time when stomachs are growling and cravings are real. Twice a day, boom, your name, your flavors, front and center. Plus, we're throwing in a sweet bonus deal to give you even more airtime. Don't get left behind. Get featured on Taste on the Town. Call 869-662-8203 or hit up sales at ZIZonline.com, and let's feed the island with your deliciousness.
In the sun or in the rain, life's a journey, joy and pain, but NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right, always here for you, always. With NCI you've got a friend, always here for you, always. Right here till the very
At National Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. Always. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very end. Always here for you. Always. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very end.
The views and opinions expressed by participants and callers during this program are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made. Welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today, Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. It is 11:24, and for those of you who have just joined the conversation, I had via telephone Ms. Eartha Carey, the coordinator of the Citizen Security Secretariat, who used the opportunity to speak on the upcoming better opportunities or better opportunity fairs that Secretariat will be hosting. And the goal or the purpose of the event is to tackle the issue of crime and violence. I absolutely love that there is, you can see where the effort is being made from the law enforcement, national security personnel to tackle the issue of crime and violence. It's not just buying more guns and buying more vehicles, which, of course, those things are needed if you're talking about national security. But addressing the root causes and looking or examining what exactly the issues are, are absolutely important. Of course, we had the 90-day campaign against crime and violence. There was a recent initiative, I'm forgetting, the name is slipping me right now, but they went into the schools and, spoke with the young people and engaged with members of the community. These are events that are absolutely necessary, and these events are what I believe, or these initiatives are what I believe are going to work, and what I believe have been working in giving our young people a second chance and making sure that they themselves are serious and they themselves want that second chance, because it is one thing to provide the opportunity, but they're not taking advantage of the opportunity. And so this is me just using this platform to encourage our young people and people in general to take advantage of the opportunities that are being presented, aimed at giving you a second chance at life, a second chance at doing what you love, a second chance at making a name for yourself, a second chance at making an impact. And so that is the CSS, not Charleston Secondary School, but the Citizen Security Secretariat. I have to admit, when I saw CSS first, that's the first thing that came to mind as an division, eh? That's the first thing that came to mind.
You saw it all the time.
Yeah?
You saw the
Yeah, I see it all the time, and so that's the first thing that came to mind. But the Citizen Security Secretariat, they have been doing some really good work here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I want to say kudos to the officials there, the leaders, the representatives, and keep up the good work. We have a first call for this morning. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, you know, we don't step on the topic where you're from. You know, we do say no, we don't say no, because we have crisis. Crisis, our behavioral crisis. We have to keep things in it. We do this, that is a walk with trouble. Let's walk and look trouble. Yes. And you see this crisis we're in, we have been, we said that we need to put pregnancy on hold and deal with the crisis. We feel like, yeah, we are born, contact the crisis, and then not come, one or two coming different. Some of them are just follow the trend of walk with trouble. So we try to that extent and say, we need to put pregnancy on hold. Anymore, up to the time, we have a set of people in a city and needy. So all them do is walk and look trouble. All kind of different way. All kind of different way. And we have to acknowledge that. We have youth who know into that, and we have youth who just follow. You know, like follow through. Them not got in the bad thing and the chucky thing and the negative flexing. But you see them who got in the negative flexing, no kind of program can bring them around. None whatsoever. They're gonna just play with the program. They go around the program. So therefore, we need to implement whatever we need to implement to deal with the youth them. What we have now, walk, now behave, and I walk with trouble, and I deal with negative flexing. We need to find a way to make them feel it. We can't continue. It's like the same thing with the nastiness. We just walk and clean up behind nasty people. And the nasty people, they're making it look like we're not clean because them just continue not clean. But them the business, them the pride. They end up using the mean unto them. It's the same thing with these kind of elements. What just walk and look so them intend to sin. They don't have that inside of them. So whatever program we come with, we don't isolate the program then, you know. We can try to save who we can save. But a whole heap of elements in our midst, them can't be saved. Them no want them Them not try to save themselves and they don't want nobody save them.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution to the program. It's 11:31. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay tuned.
Foodies are hungry and they're looking for you. Get your restaurant or food spot on the hottest shows, The Morning Show and The Edge, at the perfect time when stomachs are growling and cravings are real. Twice a day, boom, your name, your flavors, front and center. Plus, we're throwing in a sweet bonus deal to give you even more airtime. Don't get left behind. Get featured on Taste on the Town. Call 869-662-8203 or hit up sales at ZIZonline.com and let's feed the island with your deliciousness.
In the sun or in the rain, life's a journey, joy and pain. But NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right. Always here for you. Always. With NCI, you've got a friend, always here for you. Always. Right here till the very
At National Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. Always. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very end. Always here for you. Always. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very end.
This St. Kitts Nevis Music Festival, retreat to your home away from home at Brighton Estate. Enjoy exclusive festival rates with a 4-day minimum stay in a peaceful, private setting where comfort and charm meet. Unplug, recharge, and let the luxury of space and serenity elevate your festival experience. Call or WhatsApp 869-662-5772 or email brightonhouseskb@gmail.com to reserve your stay. Brighton Estate, where history meets harmony.
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
Welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today, Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. The phone lines remain open at 467-1977 or 1903, and the cell number is 662-8674. That is 662-8674. Call us and lend your voice to the conversation at hand. This is the month of May, so that means we have this month and next month, the remaining months for the JAD assistance being provided by the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Budget Boost Wallet. The Budget Boost Wallet initiative, which was launched in January of this year, and it provides $250 for the first 6 months of 2025 to eligible people, and to be eligible for this assistance, you must be earning less than $5,000 and less, or less than $5,000 to qualify for this initiative, and it is coming to a close in the month of June. So you'll get the final payment at the end of this month. Sorry, you'll get the next payment at the end of this month, and the final payment at the end of June. But from the numbers and the statistics that I have seen over the last couple of months, I can say that the program or the initiative has served its purpose in terms of assisting some of the most vulnerable people in our community. It has been a tremendous injection in the local economy because people are using the funds for its intended purpose. And because of how it was designed, where you don't get physical cash, you don't get actual cash, or you don't get the money deposited into your bank account, you get the money lodged to your phone, to your ZIZ account, whether it's available on your phone or tablet or whatever. And of course, there are restrictions. People have been using the money for essential items, and so buying food, paying NHC or NHLDC, NEVLEC, SKELEC, and the water services departments in both St. Kitts and Nevis. And so we're seeing where the money is being used. The latest figures, we saw most of the money going into the supermarkets, where people have been buying essential items that are absolutely needed. So I think it's a great initiative. And in terms of how it was rolled out and in terms of how it was designed, of course, there was some pushback and some backlash in the beginning, but now I think people have gotten a better understanding as to why it was done that way. Because the reality is, had that money been deposited directly to people's accounts, nobody would have really, or less people would have taken the money and done something responsible with it. And responsible is whether they're buying essential items and paying for essential services. Now there is a question or a recent conversation as to whether you believe this initiative should continue for another 6 months or for another 3 months. And there are two sides to the conversation, and I'd like to get your thoughts on it. What are your thoughts on the initiative, and if you think that it is something that should be continued? For me, I've seen the conversation where persons have suggested that it should not be continued because you don't want a welfare state. You don't want a situation where people feel as though they must be waiting on a payout or a handout or whatever it is from the state. And I think to some extent, while I understand the purpose and while I understand that it is designed to help the most vulnerable, you do not want a case where people are heavily reliant on the state. And so they feel as though the state is obligated to do something like that on a regular basis. 6 months for such an initiative is a long time. That is $250 per month, and it is not even per household. It is per person. And so if 10 of you live in a house but you individually earn less than $5,000, you individually benefit from this initiative. And so you could see how far reaching it is, putting more spending power in that unit, in that family unit, in that house. And this spending power would allow them to do a lot more things, and not just a lot more things, but take care of essential items, essential services, and things that are absolutely needed. So that is definitely welcomed. But your thoughts, call us at 467-1977 or 1903 or 662-8674. Those are the numbers you call to lend your voice to the conversation at hand. Do you have any callers on the line? Okay, we have a caller. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Okay, this is again. The program, there's a very good program. Because it's the people we are in need. The only problem is, is how the people them are confused.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you were saying. The only problem is what, sorry?
The problem?
Yes, I didn't hear what you were saying. You said the only problem is...
The only problem is the kind of item that they're choosing, They're choosing to carry into the home, to carry into the kitchen. The same items them that they get more and more this easy. You give them this, that, and right, this, that, and carry the other. They're not consuming. People not consuming healthily. There is things that the money can pursue, that can buy whatever the program is. That is much more healthier. The choices of items is not the best. So, I don't want to be in terms of that, I didn't the goodness inside it, then the thinking that purpose by the way they are consuming. That's the point you are making. But it's a good program. It's helping a lot of people, and we see helping a lot of people. All right, we want to stay on the crime thing. Somebody said recently that Jamaicans, right, match up Jamaica and come here and match up here. Well, let me say something. Let me Jamaica for a while. No one Jamaican. Not two, that much of Jamaica. We need to system policing. Won't allow that. They will mess up themselves. Yeah? And we ought not to continue targeting the Jamaicans then in our midst towards crime, because we can't just judge them like that because Jamaica is what it is. And talking about that, it is said that the employment rate right now, as we speak, the employment rate in Jamaica is up and the crime is down. Some better with the living condition, because our as small as we be, our economic situation is better than Jamaica. Much better. So they come here to try better the condition and his family. And just like others who are here, they come in the mid. And nobody can target them because Jamaicans have a crime rate and the food service. Because Jamaica have a crime with Jamaicans who are here. Them to be bringing that here. No, it's not like that. We don't want nobody to don't want us to look on that. We just dismiss that. If Jamaicans who are here, just like anybody else who are here getting problems with the big guy, whether it's a man or a woman, but we not target them in general and say, Jamaica something bad this year.
All right. Thank you so much, caller, for your contribution to the program. It's 11:45 and you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining the conversation. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue. Stay with us.
This St. Kitts Nevis Music Festival, retreat to your home away from home at Brighton Estate. Enjoy exclusive festival rates with a 4-day minimum stay in a peaceful, private setting where comfort and charm meet. Unplug, recharge, and let the luxury of space and serenity elevate your festival experience. Call or WhatsApp 869-662-5772 or email brightonhouseskb@gmail.com to reserve your stay. Brighton Estate, where history meets harmony.
heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
Healthwise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Monique Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Patrice Lawrence.
Okay. Foodies are hungry and they're looking for you. Get your restaurant or food spot on the hottest shows, The Morning Show and The Edge, at the perfect time when stomachs are growling and cravings are real. Twice a day, boom, your name, your flavors, front and center. Plus, we're throwing in a sweet bonus deal to give you even more airtime. Don't get left behind. Get featured on Taste on the Town. Call 869-662-8203 or hit up sales@zzonline.com and let's feed the island with your deliciousness.
In the sun or in the rain, life's a journey, joy and pain. But NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right. Always here for you. Always. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very
At National Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. Always. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very end. Always here for you. Always. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Always. Right here till the very end.
From the heart of ZIZ Radio comes a political talk show like no other. The Edge, with host Devonne Cornelius giving you his take on the biggest stories happening in governance today. Got something to say? Let's hear it. Give us a call at 869-465-2555, Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. One solid hour of in-depth analysis of the machinery that makes our country tick. The Edge, cutting into the matters at hand.
The views and opinions expressed by participants and callers during this program are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made. welcome back to The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. It's 11:52 and we are wrapping up. I just want to share with you that St. Kitts and Nevis, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, in collaboration with Island Innovation, are hosting the Global Sustainable Islands Summit. Today was the official opening ceremony at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. And at that opening ceremony, we heard from regional leaders speaking on some of the most pressing issues that the Caribbean region has to deal with. And those issues are sustainability, climate action or climate change, and resilience. Speaking at the event was the Minister with responsibility for sustainable development and climate action, the Honorable Senator Dr. Joyle Clark. And she used the opportunity to really signal the St. Kitts and Nevis' commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals and spoke on the Sustainable Island State agenda that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has launched and is working on. A highlight of the event was also hearing from the CARICOM Youth Ambassador for St. Kitts and Nevis, Akwanje Robinson, who spoke quite well and I think did a really good job in representing the youth voice of St. Kitts and Nevis on that stage, and he spoke passionately about the issues that we are facing here in the region as it relates to climate change and climate action. And basically some of the things that I think would remain with the attendees was let this event not just be for photo ops, but let this event bring about real change and real impact. And so I had the opportunity to attend that event and meet with some great minds here in the region, and that took place earlier. Well, it's still happening, but the opening ceremony began earlier today, and we're going to hear more of that in our midday newscast coming up shortly. Let me say thank you so much for joining me on today's edition of The Edge. Always, it's a good time to engage with you, the listeners of this program, people across St. Kitts and Nevis, the Caribbean region, and further afield, who tune in every day to listen to this program. Until next time, you guys stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. And please, I beg of you, take it easy on the road. I hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same station. Coming up now is our midday newscast. Stay with us and have a good one.